to officially welcome you all to honor our very own Adnan Mahboob, who will be presented Best Student Awards by the Super Trends from TCS. Can we have a great round of applause, please? Now, I'll take the opportunity to welcome Mr. Joydeep Thar to say a few words and welcome Mr. Rajat and Mr. V.K. Verma. Please, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you, and respected Director Sir, Mr. V.K. Verma. He is a General Manager from TCS, and Mr. Rajat Sikka is an academic initiation. He is actually Northern India head of all academic initiation, this institutional academic, all the programs he is actually conducting. And we are fortunate that we are gathered here for the TCS Best Student Award. This is the first time our student received this award from the TCS. So just give a big round of applause for Adnan, because I think this will continue, because I think many of you are junior to Adnan batch, and I expect this trend will continue for our future students also. And since this is a great moment for us, and all of you know about TCS, so I want that you must know about this Best Student Initiative, how they conduct and how they actually distribute among the students, actually how they select the students. This process will be discussed by Mr. Rajat Sikka, and I also fortunate that today this among us, this Mr. V.K. Verma. He is a wide experience, and he is a he is a virtual retirement from TCS, and he will experience his this is TCS or the corporate world experience with you. And I think if you have any question during his talk, you can interact, and that will be a nice interaction section. So without I must welcome all the students, all the faculty members, and our guests, especially from TCS, and any other guests from other organizations. So, okay, let me hand over this to Naveed.
For the lovely welcome speech. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Rajat Sikka, Academic Relationship Manager, North India, TCS, to address the students and share his valuable experience. Please, sir, we welcome you.
Dr. Deshmukh, Dr. Third, in the academic fraternity, students, on behalf of TCS and Academic Interface Program at TCS, I welcome each of you over here. TCS has been having a relationship with the academia since we incepted about 44 years back. Since the past 4.5 decades, we've been having some kind of a relationship with the academia. About a decade and a half back, within TCS, we formulated an academic interface program to take the relationship to a more stronger heights. What we do as a part of academic interface program is we do a lot of student connect programs, we do a lot of faculty development programs, we look forward to having research collaborations with some premier institutes in the country. we take care of internships. What we also have as a bandwagon or what we had as a part of bandwagon of AIP was, we used to have giving about 48 Best Student Awards to our MOU institutes, but somehow we convinced our management to extrapolate that, take it forward. So what we have now is, we have something called a TCS Best 100. What we do in that, we choose the best 100 institutes in the country, and these best 100 institutes choose the best student among them. So fortunately, your campus is one of the colleges of the top 100 campuses, where we chose, your college chose one of your student colleagues called Adnan, who's the best student awardee of TCS for this year. Now this one is for you, Adnan, especially for you. Now this award is not only yours. Okay, you might go home with a cash reward of 10,000 rupees. You have to treat your friends for that. You might go with a certificate, you might go with a gold medal. But this award also goes to your parents. It also goes to your professors. It also goes on to your friends who probably begged you to give a little extra so that you could be the best student. So I will not waste much time, I'm sure Adnan would be more than happy to take care of that check. He has to treat all his friends. So wish you the best and God bless. And I'm sure if you continue the way you're doing it, you'll do wonderful in the corporate world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are really honored to have you here. Now, I take the pleasure to invite Mr. V.K. Verma, General Manager, TCS, who would enlighten us with his experiences about the topic, expectation of industry from students. Please, sir, we welcome you.
Good afternoon, friends. Well, I have been associated with institutes, colleges for last 36 years. I have moved around mostly to the North India colleges and used to take care of the recruitment aspect for about 10 years and may have interviewed more than 15,000 people during my tenure of 36 years. Well, somebody just asked me, we were sitting in the room of placement cell. Somebody just asked me, what exactly you look for a student, when you come for recruitment. Well, there are so many things we can talk about, but I will stick my discussion only for about, say, 10 minutes. Then if you have any questions, you can ask me, and then I think the time is the constraint. Well, there are certain things which, as a student, you should remember that your subject knowledge is very, very important when you go for an interview. There can be some basic questions. Say for example, if you are a civil student and if you don't know what is floating foundation, or if you are a MCA student, you don't know what are the steps involved in software development life cycle, then you have a problem. Your basic should be very, very clear. Then the second aspect which I personally would like to look into the students as such is their presentations, their how they bear themselves, their personal etiquettes when they are interacting with the interviewers. And the third is the attitude. I may have had a chance not to recruit even 5 or 6 gold medalists. You may say that the class topper has not been recruited by an organization like TCS. So there are reasons which are related to attitude only. Because that person may be good at communication, maybe he is very good at his subject knowledge because he is a class topper. But the kind of attitude they develop, because once you join the industry, it's not that your subject knowledge only matters. your interaction with the client, your time management, your personal bearing. Nobody will tell you that you have to do this within 5 minutes, 10 minutes or something of that kind. It is you who have to take the proactive approach and will have to deliver accordingly, because it's a client which you have to serve and up to their satisfaction. So you have to be on your toes when you, it's not that if you are 5 minutes late, your professor will say okay, or if your boss is there in say in an office, then you have to be on your toes, and then you have to prove yourself. To go to that, to the industry, say, I would like to mention few things. Say 30 years back, hardly 50 engineering institutes were there. Today, we have more than maybe 5,000 engineering institutes. And another thing is, employability is a problem. Say around 25% of the engineering students or MBA students who are passing, only 25% of them are considered as employable. Why? Because it is not that the vacancies are not there. There is a dearth of good professionals in the industry, but you have to prove yourself. I was talking to one of the students just before coming here. She just asked me, what do you expect? My expectation is only 2-3 things. One, your subject knowledge should be good, your personal bearing should be good, your time management should be there, you should be punctual. If you are taking care of these, and the attitude. It's not that, if you are going for an interview and you yourself is not confident, and your body language as such should show that you are the best candidate around for which the company is looking at. Besides this, I would like to mention that you have to take care of the opportunity, because once you get an opportunity to get a job, your attitude should be that you are the best for that particular opportunity. You have to be ready. Mostly the first question is, tell me something about yourself. I can have a bet that if I ask this question to any one of you, you are not prepared to answer that. You may say, I am from this place, my background is so and so. No, my dear friend, now what do we expect? The answer to this question is something interesting you talk about. You talk about your interests, hobbies, your achievements, your parents' achievement, your place for which you are coming from. That also makes an interesting introduction of yourself. It's not that I am interested in knowing that what is your educational background and things like that. I want to see that what is the passion you have, with what passion you are talking about. Because all these things, whatever you are telling, is already there in your CV. Your name, your father's name, your address, the place you belongs to. Another thing is, when this question is going to end, then you are to say that my strength area is so and so. You are the driver. You become a driver. Interviewer should not become the driver for you. You say that this is what my area of interest, and you should be very, very proficient in that area of your interest, what I am talking about, and then say that these are my achievements and this is what my area of interest is. The moment you say, the interviewer will ask you the questions related to the area of your interest, right? and then you can take it forward. It is try that you are the driver for an interview, not the interviewer as a driver for your interview, right? So these are certain basic things. And another thing, you try to, take care of your strengths and weaknesses. At times, this question becomes a sort of deciding question about people are really not aware of their strengths and weaknesses, and sometimes they talk about weaknesses as strengths as weaknesses and things like that. For that, I would suggest that you try to do a SWOT analysis of yours, and I hope you all know what SWOT analysis is.
Yes, sir.
So try to do a SWOT analysis of yours and try to review every month. Try to set your short-term goals and long-term goals, and accordingly you drive yourself. Nobody will help you. Whenever you are there, you are the one. You have to have a proactive approach within you to prove yourself, right? That you are something. There is hardly anything which makes you not proud of you, right? You have done your graduation, you are studying in the best institute. ABV-IITM is one of the best institute I can say. What is that which you are not really proud of? You should be proud of yourself. And that proud should reflect when you are talking to anyone, right? And now just open to the questions if you have any, and 4-5 questions. No questions? I have talked about you only, and if you don't have any questions, listen. That is the hesitation you people have. If I ask what will happen, how the person will react and things like that, that hesitation you have to come out with. That shows that none of you are confident. I can tell you, all the students, when I am asking you, do you have any questions? No questions. Is it?
Let me rephrase this question. How long have you been staying in Gavalia? How long have you been staying in Gavalia? I think anybody can answer that.
6 months.
2 years? 1 year? 3 years? Okay, let me put a question this way. I think that we start the dialogue this way. Which is the best restaurant in Gavalia? I didn't hear that. Which is the best restaurant?
Mansingh.
Usha Kiran Palace is the best restaurant. Oh, who said that? Okay, can you please answer? Okay. Any questions? Any questions?
So why written examinations, aptitude is more important than interview? Like first it is subject.
No, as I told you, there are basic things. Your job knowledge, means subject knowledge, your aptitude. Aptitude in the sense, there are different kind of aptitude assessment tests are there. See, when we go for interviews for MBAs, so we generally don't conduct any aptitude test for them. But for engineering, background people, do you have that kind of aptitude, problem solving aptitude? So, what will happen when you go to the industry? Nobody is going to teach you. You have to learn all these things on your own. And that aptitude becomes a sort of, gives some hint to the interviewers that, okay, this is the kind of a person we are looking at. And it is not a general aptitude which is, seen at all the organizations. There are certain specific, aptitudes we look at.
Sir, I have one question.
Yeah.
Sir, basically I am from the management side.
Yeah.
And so my question is, when we are in our last semester, we are supposed to make a thesis as a part of our curriculum. So, as sir already mentioned, this is an academic initiative program from TCS. So why don't TCS give students certain challenges that every business have some challenges they face every day. So why don't they give students or a project to students which students can take that project in their management thesis, and altogether the student will come to a real-time problem solution. So actually that was my question.
They are close to almost about 11.5 lakh students who study in India. Okay. Out of these 11.5 lakh people, if I talk about another 20% of these are management students, which means we're talking of another 3 lakh students. So TCS cannot give 3 lakh projects. I'm sure we need to work also, yeah? We need to earn our bread as well. So, but carrying forward certain projects for some of the students whom we recruit, yes, we do give projects to students, some of the students we recruit, but not to all, because TCS hires big numbers. We hire about 50,000 people, 30,000 people every year. So I can't give 30,000 projects, I can't give 50,000 projects, but I do give some percentage of number of people I recruit. Not all. It's always there. It says that it has to be taken forward. So some percent of the people I recruit, I will give them projects. There's never an issue with that. That what at some percentage is, it needs to be discussed with your training and placement cell and TCS.
Regarding topics, if you want, say if you analyze the report of any organization, say for example TCS, there is a chapter in the annual report, what are the risks and what are the risk mitigation strategies applied by that organization to overcome those risks. I think if you see the annual report of any organization, you will get hundreds of questions in your mind to do a project on any of the topics. Say for example in IT industry, what is the problem? There are two main problems. One is getting the right kind of people, means employable people. Second is attrition rate. Attrition rate is close to 20%, but in some organizations in IT, the attrition rate is as high as 60 to 70%. Means today that organization exists, maybe after a year that organization may not exist because of the attrition only. So you have to analyze those reports and you will get plenty of topics on which you can do the projects as such. Right? Yes, sir.
Will this annual report be available online or?
Yeah. For any organization, you go to our website, you go to website of any organization, you will be able to get the annual report. And those annual reports will definitely have the risk and risk mitigation strategies, and that can be taken as a subject, or topics are plenty as such, So there is no dearth of actual projects which you people, there are say about 20 odd students have already done the project work under my guidance till now, and I have given them some interesting topics, and they have done an excellent job. But what I am just trying to say is, sometimes I have got the students also. One student which I was not able to convince, I gave her a topic, then she started working, then she was away for about a month, didn't show her face, and once that time was about to be over, she comes to me, sir, मैंने तो कुछ किया नहीं, certificate दे दो. I said, sorry, my dear, this is not the place where I want to give you a certificate. I want to give you the experience. I want you to do something which actually will give you some learning out of it. The people have done, some kind of a survey, projects with me. Some people have done a dissertation also, like one or two very important projects which people have done under my guidance are on work-life balance in IT industry. Because IT industry as such is a very big industry. Say one question which just came to my mind. Suppose a person is doing a computer science, right? One basic question which I sometimes ask, can you tell me IT is a part of computer science or a computer science is a part of IT? People get confused. They are not clear. What I am saying is, you are doing a graduation degree in computer science or IT. You should know the basic difference as such, Because you may be expert in a particular area, but if you don't know the basics, that industry people are not comfortable with those kind of answers as such. That creates a doubt that person actually knows something or not. Yeah.
So, I have a question. Like, I'm a management student. So, like you said, that the students, when they come to the organization, they have to be proactive. So, what I feel is, as a student, that proactiveness has to be developed from the very beginning, from the college level. So, like, what things you would suggest to grow our interest in being proactive, and means taking, like, for example, the students in a college have started a small initiative in which there is a group of students in which we gather together, all the management students, and they discuss various case studies, and they hold group discussions on various topics, which are the blooming topics in the today's world. So, like, other than these kind of things, we have internship, and it is mandatory, internship mandatory in our curriculum. So, what are the other things which the industry person expect us to do, so that it gives an image of a employable student?
Well, I think that reminds me, in my career of say 36 years, I have given, there are, when we do the performance management, so we give a rating of A, B, C. A is the highest. Like you also have a grade. When you are in a industry, when you work, annual appraisal, bi-monthly appraisal and all kind of things happens, That reminds me, one of the candidates, I'm sorry to say, I have been a very hard, taskmaster. I may have given maximum B to all my, people, those who have worked with me. And one person which I feel is a real role model, that person, he worked with me for about 3 years, and he already, always got A rating from me. A rating, getting A rating in an organization means something, you are the best, right? There are certain good qualities of that person I would like to just mention to you. He is an MBA from Ford School of Management. He joined as a trainee with me. There were about 5 people, they were reporting to me. He was among the best in a sense. He had a very good communication. He used to take initiative. Suppose I have to talk to somebody, he already will be having his number to whom I want to talk. So that proactiveness is there. He is always agile. Agile in a sense, always keep up to date on what is happening around. Right? And even I can say that at times I have given him the opportunity where I would have given the presentation, I asked him to give the presentation. And he came up to my expectation in a sense, because one of the projects which I would like to share with you, Passport Seva project, we have developed 77 offices throughout India, and we have trained the police officials, MEA officials, and our own people. And for last 4 years, I was associated with that project. So that person, if I ask him, you have to give a presentation to a DIG. He said, no problem, sir. And you have to go and meet the senior most people in the ministry. He said, no, I'll go. Give me a chance. Means, what I'm just trying to say is, there were people to whom I say, आप करोगे? Sir, मैं minister कहाँ मैं नहीं मिल सकता. But that kind of confidence. Today, I am saying that person will grow throughout his career in a upward direction because he got a grooming of say about 3 years. He got the opportunities, and why? Because of his proactiveness. He always used to be on his toes, saying that, sir, कल क्या करना है? That kind of schedule he used to have, and when I used to say, अच्छा यार यहाँ जाना है, चलो यार कोई बात नहीं. वहाँ से कहीं और means he has travelled to 3-4 places in a week. He will schedule his tickets for air. He will schedule everything, and he will call me in the evening, sir, this job has been done. So this is what is required in the industry, If I have taken you as my subordinate, I don't want to see you a burden on me. Sir, मैं क्या करूं? यार, क्या करना क्या है? You should know your job. You should ask what is there for next to me. So these are the kind of things a person should update himself every day. What is next and how? Maybe, he may have asked me a couple of questions, sir, this is what is to be done, how should I go about it? Well, that people like me will share the experience. They will say, okay, do like this, I think you will succeed. Do like this, you will be able to do that. But that urge to learn, to know, should be there in you. That burning fire should be there in you. Then only I think you will be able to groom yourself and people will definitely like you in the working environment. That is the kind of, atmosphere you have to create around your people, and that will definitely will help you that, okay, you have something extra than my other 4 team members, and that's the reason you are getting A from me for last 3-4 years. So that is what needs to be, imbibed in you. Yeah.
So we all know that most of the engineering and management students are unemployable. So what is the reason behind it, and what is the solution to business class that what is the steps all the students apply in actually this is what is that college who is responsible for unemployment of the student? Is the fault of student or it is the fault of college or?
नहीं, ये देखिए किसी का फॉल्ट नहीं है, उसे बैठ गया. उसका रीजन ये है कि देखिए टुडे मैं आपकी एज में दोबारा जाके मैं अपने आप को कंसेप्चुलाइज करना चाहता हूँ. जब मैंने इंडस्ट्री ज्वाइन की थी, I was really not knowing how to write a letter, frankly speaking. But it depends on a good guide in an office working. If you get, you can grow, right? But that initiative you have to take, right? See, today what is happening, this MNC culture, multinational culture, which is happening. Say, I am working with X organization today, a Japanese, I have to interact. For that, what you have to do? Okay, that reminds me another example of my colleague. We are about to open an office in Nigeria, right? So my colleague has gone through the entire information about Nigeria, and then he is replying to that RFP, whatever interaction we are going to have in Nigeria. He knows, he is quite capable of answering to any question on Nigeria now. He was not aware of the geography, he was not aware of anything. For last 7 days, when we generally together have lunch. Now today, if you ask about Nigeria, he knows everything. That urge, you have to have. Say suppose you will be successful in your job once you go an extra mile. See, nobody asked him to read about Nigeria for 7 days. Simple questions he may have answered. But what I'm just trying to say is, you have to make employable. Employable in a sense, your confidence, your communication, your presentability, all these matters. Why? It is not anybody's fault, but those who outshine in the industry are because of their self-development and self-improvement. If I know my communication is weak, what I have done? I have done nothing. I'll be very blunt and very clear on this. If I know this is my weakness, what is that I have done to overcome that weakness? Have you done a SWOT analysis of yourself? No. I can say that out of 15,000 people I have interviewed, hardly even 1,000 people would have answered my question, tell me something about yourself, in a very correct manner. We don't know about weaknesses, we don't know about strengths, we are not able to talk about ourselves. Leave beside the topics, leave beside your technology side, cloud computing and all kind of things. You forget about those things. What I'm saying is, your basics should be very clear. You should make yourself employable. Then I think you'll be able to succeed in any area. But you have to go extra mile. It is not your problem, it is not my problem, it is not industry problem, but the requirements are such, the culture is such. Suppose today I take anybody from any college, if he is not able to speak in a good manner, good etiquettes, आजकल वो फैशन है, बाली लड़के भी बाली डालते हैं, ठीक है यार, फैशन है, but not in the office. What I'm just trying to say is, you have to mold yourself accordingly. You have to calibrate yourself to celebrate your success. नहीं, खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तदबीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे, बता तेरी ज़रा क्या है. If you are capable, people will come and search for you, that this is the person I want. And one of the person is here among us who has been awarded. This is a small motivation which we are trying to give it to him. But the world is waiting for him to prove himself further. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We assure you that all the technological and management students present here will pay heed to the points you mentioned. It was really a great learning and motivational experience to see you here. Now I invite Professor S.G. Deshmukh, our respected director, to say a few words to the students and the guests.
Mr. Vermaji, Mr. Rajit, Dr. Dhar, Professor Tapasvi, Dr. Aryan, Dr. Anurag, and my dear student. It's a great function here to felicitate Adnan, who has been chosen by TCS in their list. We are in the 17 institutions which have been chosen in the North India. I really thank you, TCS, for bestowing competencies. And as Varmaji has said, this will also act as a great motivator for others to follow Adnan, and Adnan becomes some kind of a torch bearer which will spread the message among the student community. Varmaji started with a very simple question. Tell us about yourself. Now this is really a googly question, and most of the students will find it difficult to answer. And while answering, I think the potential employer has made up their mind to hire or not to hire. In this kind of opening questions, tell n number of things about your personality. They also open up your mindset, your attitude, and in an indirect way, the competencies you carry. And I think from that point of view, this session was very interesting, sir. And I'm sure our students will learn a lot from this. There is another interesting thing about Mr. Varmaji, which I learned today, that he was responsible for hiring 4 Major Generals for TCS. Hiring Major General, retaining them, and leveraging their skills for development of organization is a big challenge. Because people from services have different mindset. They are brought up, they are used in a certain environment. And that environment is of a strict discipline. And I think today's corporate also expect such kind of discipline. Whether it is technical discipline, the way you try to satisfy your client, the way you try to deliver, the way you learn many skills. Because unfortunately, educational institute cannot teach each and everything. More often than not, our students say that whatever we teach, only 5% is useful. Just like you talked about 25% who are employable. Whatever we teach, only 5% is useful. In reality, the figure may be on higher side. But at this stage, we really don't know which 5% for whom. So our curriculum is basically packed with many concepts, many tools and techniques, many recent advances and so on. But it is ultimately up to you what is to be chosen. And once you have chosen, how it needs to be adopted, how it needs to be adapted to the industry need. And I think that is where the institute and industry interaction comes into picture. So from that point of view, this initiative of AIP from TCS is really a very welcome step. And for the benefit of my colleagues, TCS also has a very motivating program for research scholars. They have also developed a very good platform, which is basically extension of social networking, under which those 11 lakh candidates, 11 lakh students can interact among themselves. They can interact with the faculty, they can interact with the experts, and try to understand a particular subject. And I think that is one way of enhancing your technical domain. So this part is also important. The way we try to upgrade ourselves, the way we try to learn and try to become aware of the state of the art. And I think these skills are going to be extremely useful in your professional life. So I am thankful to TCS for choosing our institute, and this initiative will go a long way in enhancing the quantity and quality of relationship between ABV-IIITM and TCS. So once again, Thank you. And thank you very much to Dr. Jaideep Dhar, who has taken initiative to organize this particular event. Thanks once again.
Thank you, sir. We really appreciate your precious words. Now, I cordially invite on the stage all our respected guests, Director Sir, faculty members, and the beloved student of our college, Adnan Mahboob, for the facilitation ceremony. We welcome you all.
Very few hands there.
Congratulations, Adnan, from the complete ABV-IIITM Institute of Information Technology and Management. Congratulations. Now, I would request Mr. Adnan Mahboob to say a few words to the high officials of TCS, Director Sir, the faculty members and students. You surely are a role model, sir. Please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I find myself extremely honored to be receiving such a prestigious award, the Best Student Award from such an honored organization, that's TCS. I am grateful for the recognition that I have received for my work. And for this precious moment, the credit goes to my institute, the ABV-IIITM fraternity, especially my faculty members, all the faculty members, my friends and colleagues. Without their support, I didn't consider myself to be standing here. And also, I would like to appreciate the initiative taken by the TCS to award students for their best performances in their academics. This would further lead and provide a motivation to the other students to develop their interest towards their studies and would perform more and more better. And also, last but not the least, I would like to thank my parents. They were for some reason not able to come here, but their blessings are always with me.
Thank you, Adnan. Thank you so much for being here. Now, in the end, I would like to extend the vote of thanks. Honorable Rajat Sikka, Honorable P.K. Verma, and Professor S.T. Deshmukh, our most valued invited guests and students. I, on behalf of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Indian Institute of Information Technology and Management, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all the speakers for gracing your important visit and sharing with us your opinions and experiences today. We thank you for being with us this day. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much.
So,